You are not lazy. You are not weak. Your brain is running a program. It was never designed to run this long. By the end of this video, you will recognize exactly which stage you are in and what your brain needs to recover. Stage 1. The honeymoon phase. This begins the moment you start a new job, launch a business, or dive into a big project. You feel unstoppable. You take on extra tasks, stay late, and barely notice the time passing because your brain is flooding your system with dopamine. That excitement is real, but it sets a hidden trap. When you feel great, your brain registers this as a signal that everything is working, so warning signs get ignored. That inner voice telling you to slow down gets overruled by the dopamine telling you this is exactly where you are supposed to be. You push through weekends, skip breaks, say yes to everything, and that energy burns out faster than you expect. You are setting a pace your brain and body simply cannot maintain. Stage 2. The stress trap. The excitement fades. Your body begins releasing cortisol daily, keeping your nervous system in a low-grade fight-or-flight state from morning to night. Here is what most people miss. Cortisol was designed for short-term threats, a predator, a sudden danger, a narrow escape. Your body was never built to run this system all day, every day. When it does, everything from your digestion to your immune function starts to underperform. It is like carrying a backpack that gains weight so slowly, you don't notice until your back is already aching. You start snapping at people over small things. Your sleep gets lighter. Your patience gets shorter. Here is the deceptive part. You might feel highly productive during this stage, but that productivity runs on panic, not real energy, and panic is not a fuel source you can sustain. Stage 3. The neurological shift. This is where biological damage begins. Your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, physically grows larger and becomes hypersensitive. At the same time, your prefrontal cortex, which handles logic and planning, starts to shrink. This is not a metaphor. These are measurable, structural changes confirmed by brain imaging research, which is why a short email suddenly takes an hour to write. Why a simple decision feels like a crisis that demands immediate resolution. Your hippocampus, the region responsible for memory formation, also takes a hit under chronic stress, which is why you start forgetting things that would have been effortless before. Your brain is no longer filtering threats accurately. It has entered a state where everything looks like an emergency, and every task carries the same urgency as a genuine danger. Stage 4. The sleep disruption cycle. You fall into bed exhausted, but sleep does not come easily. Your body is tired. Your brain is still running. High cortisol disrupts your sleep architecture, blocking the deep restorative stages, specifically slow-wave sleep and REM, where your brain clears metabolic waste, consolidates memory, and regulates emotional responses. So you log 8 hours and wake up feeling worse than when you closed your eyes. Think of it like plugging your phone into a broken charger all night and waking up to find it still at 10%. The hours spent in bed are real. The recovery is not. Rest without repair is just lying down in the dark. Pause for a second. If any of this sounds familiar, I want you to ask yourself honestly, when did you last do something with no goal attached to it? Not exercise to get fit, not reading to learn, just doing something because it felt good. If you can't remember, that answer tells you exactly where you are. Stage 5. Identity erosion. This is where burnout stops feeling like exhaustion and starts feeling like a personality change. You watch your own life from a strange distance, like you are a passenger rather than the person living it. People you care about begin to irritate you. You grow cynical without knowing why. And at work, nothing you finish feels like enough. You stare at completed tasks and feel nothing. No pride, no relief. You start wondering if you were ever actually good at this. Here is what makes it especially cruel. The cynicism and detachment you feel are not character flaws. They are your mind-building walls to stop absorbing more pain. But those same walls also block connection. And human connection is one of the few things that actively accelerates recovery. Your brain's reward system has gone silent. It is no longer confirming your effort. It is only demanding more. Stage 6. The full collapse. At some point, your body joins the shutdown. Chronic cortisol suppresses immune function directly, which is why people tend to fall sick right when a long period of stress finally peaks. Your body holds on while the threat feels active, then crashes the moment you stop. You catch a cold that lingers for weeks. Headaches settle in behind your eyes every afternoon. Your stomach stays unsettled. Your muscles ache without clear reason. Then, the final defense mechanism activates. You stop caring. You miss a deadline and feel nothing. You skip something important and feel nothing. This is not laziness. This is your brain forcibly shutting down all motivation to stop the damage from going deeper. The fire has not gone out. It has been smothered on purpose because continuing to burn was doing more harm than stopping. Stage 7. The rebuilding phase. Recovery does not start with a vacation. It starts with one honest moment. Something has to change, and it starts with what I control today. The first thing to restore is not energy. It is safety. Your nervous system needs to learn that stillness is not a threat. Start with 5 minutes each morning. No phone, no input, just sitting. That restless, uncomfortable feeling in those 5 minutes is withdrawal from chronic stimulation. It is a sign that recovery has begun, not a reason to stop. The second shift is structural. Write down the 3 things draining your energy the most, not tasks, people, patterns, obligations. Chances are one of them can be cut, reduced, or delegated this week. Not eventually. This week. The third shift is relational. Burnout drives you inward and tells you that reaching out is a burden on others. That voice is a symptom, not a fact. One honest conversation with someone you trust does more neurological repair than most things you can do alone. Social connection directly lowers cortisol levels. The research on this is consistent and clear. The fourth and hardest shift is identity level. You have to stop measuring your worth by your output. Burnout does not happen to lazy people. It happens to people who tied their entire identity to their productivity and then had nothing left when that productivity stopped. Rebuilding means learning to separate who you are from what you produce. That separation is not giving up. It is what makes long-term, sustainable work possible in the first place. Recovery is not a straight line, but it starts the moment you stop treating exhaustion as a badge of honor. What stage felt most familiar to you? Drop it in the comments, because knowing where you are is the first real step out. And if you want to keep exploring how your mind actually works, subscribe. We go deep here.